Rap Delites. Rap Delites.
Apologize.
We're gonna get into.
Y'all weren't talking shit about.
Yeah, we was. We're gonna get into the artist of the week. Artist of the week is Philly's own
The Acknickulous one.
classic. I can't even put into words what these brothers are to Philadelphia. What I would go on the record say the greatest, one of the greatest hip hop
The unusual fellow.
to come out of Philadelphia. Period. Right next to Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. But I wouldn't put them in the same category as Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. But we're talking about 3 Times Dope, if you didn't know. 3 Times Dope is a hip hop group from Philadelphia, Huntington Park.
Yeah, man.
Huntington Park, not don't think that not Hilltop. A lot of people think they were from Hilltop.
But they were from Hilltop.
A lot of people see that's the thing. A lot of people
he
because he was down. Listen. He's from Huntington Park. From Huntington Park to be exact. This group consists of EST, Robert Waller, Chuck Nice, Woody Wood.
A genius on the board.
Yeah. You used to see Chuck Nice on the drawing with the
Genius on the board.
Chuck Nice and three times D, as they were called for short, were part of the Hilltop Hustler crew, who was Steady B, Cool C, mentally gifted, the youngsters later on, and everything like that.
Managed by Lawrence Goodman.
Managed and robbed by Lawrence Goodman.
Lawrence Goodman was Steady B's uncle, and he managed 3 Times Dope and had popular art, but 3 Times Dope wasn't on popular art.
Yeah.
But the company or the deal that was broken, they were on Arista Records. The first hip hop act or rap group that was on Arista Records. Probably the only one.
Well, Arista eventually started distributing Bad Boy. Yeah, but up until then, they just had artists like Whitney Houston was on Arista. Yeah.
What's the gentleman's name you said? Lawrence Goodman?
Lawrence Goodman, LG.
Was that the father of the guy?
That's the father of the youngsters.
The youngsters.
That's
That's
what
what
it
it
is.
is. Yeah, Karan.
And
That's
Ty.
That's
That
what it
was
was.
their pop. You know what I mean? Their classic LP, original Stylin was overseen, created terminologies like Acknickulous, Acknickulous, and from the Giddy Up, and one of the people that introduced me to Joe Familiarism.
Yeah.
Being Joe.
I was introduced to the term Joe Familiar, not from the streets, but from 3 Times Dope's debut album, Original Stylin.
3 Times Dope's follow-up album, Live from Acknickulous Land, was attempt at more commercial work and spawned 2 hits, Weak at the Knees and Peace Yourself. EST,
Go ahead.
EST. After the group disbanded or whatever the case may be, he became a prolific writer in his own right, an award-winning writer, writing for acts like Destiny's Child and Beyonce and everything like that. We're going to shoot over here to my man TSK1. How did you feel about 3 Times Dope, TSK1?
Like back in the 80s, back in the 80s. Oh! This is Chuck Nice, and Chuck Nice is a goddamn genius on the board because he not only produced did beats for his crew, 3 Times Dope, he did major production for Cool C and Steady B.
And he was like one of the first motherfuckers in Philly to do that. He was doing like almost like a Marley Marl type of thing where he was producing for a crew.
And he was pulling the stuff that he was pulling. When I say pulling, the records that he was pulling a sample from wasn't just some run-of-the-mill breakbeat album shit, man. He was digging.
Yeah.
It was like Chuck was digging. He was going deeper than what the average, crew was doing at the time. And he was showing and proving that, I mean, he can make funky joints. And his crew, I mean, they was really rocking that shit, man. And the thing, like, EST, to me, and not many like me, yourself included, was bar none, the greatest fucking lyricist to ever come out of Philadelphia up until Tariq Trotter.
Yeah.
They the fucking Mount Rushmore of Philly MCs, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely,
you know what I mean?
absolutely. Yeah,
So,
He would. Remember we saw him at the Fever.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Fever.
Remember Fever back in the day? Yeah, we saw him at the Fever, and we were just there on some young boys. Wasn't that when Alley Oop picked us up?
Yeah.
And we were just down in there. He was just down there. We wasn't even supposed to be the fuck there. We were just hanging out. My man Al stole his mom's car, and then we went down to the Fever.
Yeah, we was supposed to be there. But the thing is, like, back in '88, like, the world was so smaller. It just in terms of, because I lived in a section was considered like the bottom of the hill, a hilltop of 53rd and Master Street, which is around the corner from Cool Steve, and the hill was right there. Okay. So the connection, you would see people in the streets, and you would go to school with people who lived across town up Hunted Park. So conversations in class about really rubbing elbows with your favorite MC, your favorite rapper who had a record playing on the radio. It was common. Yeah. So it was more interactive. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just like. That's how I fell in love with this shit. Because I could see the motherfuckers that and they shit was dope. Yeah. Shit was not fucking corny, and you could fucking have a conversation with a dude that know that motherfucker, and he wasn't bullshitting. Yeah. He knew that nigga.
He really knew him.
And you seen the motherfucker.
Yeah. You would see him out in the street.
Yeah.
Miss Smith, how did you feel about 3 Times Dope?
So 3 Times Dope, next to Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, they were my favorite Philly group of all time. Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, more recognizable.
Yeah, well, they had the hits.
More notable. Right. But if Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince were out of the picture, it would have been 3 Times Dope. Over Cool C, over everybody else that was out, over Steady B, everybody else that was out at the time. I fell in love with them. Shout out to the Jukebox, Wave Cablevision. I saw the video back in the day. Yes. And I completely felt like I was EST, the Acknickulous. Oh my God, like I lost it. I loved it. I don't even remember them playing that much on radio, local radio.
Greatest Man Alive was the shit.
I remember the
I just remember watching the video.
I remember I mean, I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah. So I remember the videos very, very vividly. And he just became like. What I'm sad about is that I didn't continue to follow him. Like you had just spoken about the 3rd album. I knew nothing about that.
No, he wasn't the 3rd album. He was just writing. EST started writing writing lyrics, and he wrote stuff for like Destiny's Child and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And he's still writing for like stuff like some of the early Beyonce albums and stuff like that. So he still's getting credit.
So when I started listening to them, I was a buck. Probably wasn't even a teenager yet. So I don't really know like the vastness of how far and wide they went. Were they just local, or did they actually kind of did other people were they known in other sectors, other cities and states?
Mind you, well, about us being here in Philly, it's different for us.
Yeah.
Now this
is before the internet.
This isn't '88, but they came out. They debuted before that, but original Stylin came out in '88. '88 is a very important year for our hip hop. A very important year. And there's I'm gonna do
shout out to Larry Lair.
Oh,
indeed, Larry Lair. And I just thought about Larry Lair because shout out to Larry 3 Times Dope helped to introduce us to Larry Lair, another rapper from Philadelphia, Logan Valley. Shout out to Logan Valley in the house up top. '88 is a very important year, but everything was smaller. It was more condensed as far as, but because you're talking about '88, '89, '90, maybe '91. By the time around Live from Acknickulous Land came out, everything changed.
Yeah,
everything changed.
The whole world changed.
It was no getting pretty.
Yeah,
it was all fucking army gear.
Yeah.
So it's like the scene changed, and you never know what the reasons why a particular act may continue on, or whether they decide to say let's do some other shit.
Yeah, and then these dudes was on predominantly R&B label,
right. And so they didn't know what the fuck to do
with these dudes. Them niggas should have been a death beat.
You're right. But just like we were viewing this on local radio, on local TV, we were also viewing you know, 2 Live Crew and this one and that one on the same on the same video station. So weren't others viewing EST? I mean, EST now?
I mean, I'm sure they were seeing it, but I mean, it's still record companies don't know.
They were so hot though.
Record companies don't know, you know. What I mean, record companies be like on some bullshit.
Production wise, they was ill, man. You had to put Steve Arrington out to do the vocals for a track that's based on a slave trade.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah,
that was fucking ill just to do some shit like that. That is a real Steve Arrington. There's not no fucking no lookalike, or no singer like. Ain't no karaoke dude.
At the knees.
That shit was fucking ill, man. They was ill, man. They was like, to me, the hip hop version as far as slickness and flyness. They was like the hip hop version of fucking the Delphonics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you just that flavor,
and
from the record covers,
Gumby.
Yeah,
because him and Bobby Brown was the only niggas rapping the Gummy, but his Gummy was different.
Tap Money too.
Yeah, Tap Money.
Tap Money. And 3 Times Dope. By the time Live from Acknickulous, like his was
his shit was like way over there.
By the time Live from Acknickulous, they had established an alliance with Kwame from New York.
Yeah.
Tap Money had became Left Steady B.
And went to DJ for Kwame. Yeah. Shout out to Tap Money too. I remember when. You know, like I remember when this was like their first. This was the first video.
Yes.
And it was on the box and all that kind of crazy. And I remember Bob used to lose his fucking mind. Like I remember Bob, like, because it was just
shout out to All Purpose.
Shout out to my man All Purpose. It used to be a corner store on around the corner from my block, but it was a corner store. Roosevelt's, yeah. And Roosevelt was like a candy store, and he used to sell cheesesteaks and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But all of the drug dealers hung out there. All of the niggas in the hood hung out there to eat cheesesteaks, sit around, talk shit. I was a kid. I had just moved around there. I was like 10, 11. And they used to play hip hop. They used to play videos and on the TV. And we used to go around there and like we be playing video games because they had like 2 arcade games, the big box arcade.
Yeah.
We be playing arcade games. And one time we playing an arcade game, and this video came on. Bob left the game. I'm like, yo, we still playing. He's like, no, it's 3 times. He said it's 3 times dope. It's 3 times dope. I'm like, fuck 3 times dope. I'm like, yo, we playing a game. And then when you watch the video, remember he had the video and he was on some remember he had the chicks on the side of him?
Yeah.
And all that on some what's that rock dude that used to do that shit?
Robert Palmer.
He was on some Robert Palmer ass shit. Like the same thing like what Tone Loc did. And he had the chicks on the side and he was just like styling on them motherfuckers. And it was just something totally different from him and what Steady was doing.
Right.
And everybody else.
He was an entertainer.
And he was selling that shit, bro.
Yeah.
EST is that shit, bro.
I just think his flow was
a big dude. Because Rob ain't small, but he wasn't necessarily, he wasn't necessarily big, but he was a big dude. But he was like,
he was doing
he was light on his feet.
I remember remember Rap Mania? Remember they had the video, the whole concert that they had on pay-per-view? Rap Mania, y'all remember that shit?
I don't remember that.
It was a big concert that they had. It was on East Coast and West Coast. And it was on fucking...
It was a pay-per-view. It was on pay-per-view. We wasn't paying for no pay-per-view movies.
And they had fucking rap.
That's a netta.
Listen, next time we all get together, we got to talk about Rap Mania. I'm going to find that shit. Rap Mania had everybody on that motherfucker. Roxanne Shante, Ice-T, 3 Times Dope. Everybody was on that motherfucker. And they were on there. Yeah. They were the only, as far as I remember, because I know Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince weren't on there.
Nah, the only thing I remember is...
They were long.
I remember Dance Mania from the Cosby Show.
Big for each one of them.
When Cockroach was trying to get on. Remember Dance Mania from the Cosby Show?
Oh, yeah.
That's the only thing.
Anyway.
That's the only one I remember. I don't remember no
Shout out to EST. Shout out to 3 Times Dope. Shout out to TSK1 and Miss Smith. Shout out to myself. We'll be right back with more Rap Delights. More of this hip hop shit.
Don't forget Chuck Nice and Woody Wood. Yeah. And you know this was a diss track.
Rap Delight.